5 years ago, my husband cheated on me and I just found out today. We have two small kids, and I don't know what to do next or how to move on. I know what the title says and I want to put this out here. Leaving him is last resort. I don't want to leave him, but I don't know how to heal. About 6 years ago, my husband took a part-time job at this startup company. He worked full-time at another place, and his hours were full. We had a small child at the time, and he would help out since I worked too, but I didn't really see him as much. I supported him for his job ventures, because he really was excited about his work. They were doing something really revolutionary and interesting. At the startup, my husband worked with this very attractive co-worker. She was 21 years old then, and now around 26 or 27. And when I mean attractive, I don't only mean looks. She was just exceptionally smart, charismatic, and downright pretty. I heard her talk once, and my husband's project made so much more sense to me than when he explained it a gazillion times before. I searched her up today, and she has a verified Twitter and Instagram account now. She's not famous yet, but has gotten very successful. You just can't even compare me and her. I'm nothing. At first, I didn't know she was a female. My husband talked about her, but she had a very masculine name, and the way he described her, I always thought of someone old and male. I was shocked when I met her. I did raise my concerns to my husband at the time, and he said that she was just a co-worker that he thought was brilliant. I shelved my concerns, and I foolishly thought that she'd never go for someone like my husband. He's average good looking, but she probably had higher standards. She also seemed so nice and sweet. She'd never help anyone cheat. Boy, was I wrong. I just don't know how I missed it. I don't know how I couldn't see that there was something beyond admiration for this girl. He was so good to me. We even talked about having more kids, and we're trying for our second. I don't know how this could have happened. I don't know exactly when, but I think it's a month or two before I actually met her in person that they started sleeping together. I found out when I rebooted our old PC, and took a closer look at everything stored on our hard drive. God, he hid it so well. I don't think I ever even would have found anything if COVID hadn't struck, and that I didn't have all this extra time on my hands. There were just a bunch of intimate pictures. Some of them were so sweet. Others were NSFW. They had a video. I just feel like my skin is peeling off my body, and I can't stop shaking every time I think of it. What hurts the most is that he had these moments, these real-life memorable romantic moments with some other girl that he could never with me. And he had these moments when he was with me. When we were supposed to be making our moments. When we made our moments, she was on the back of his mind. It hurts so much and I just can't anymore. I didn't think this would ever happen to me. We have 3 kids, 8F, 4F, and 2M. He's such a good dad, and such a good husband. Other than this, I have no other suspicions. When I confronted him, he admitted it right away and said that he was going to tell me, but he was too scared to, and it was a mistake, and by the time he had the courage, it felt too late. He cried so much and begged me to stay. Kept saying he loved me. I really want to forgive him. It's been a long time, and I do believe him when he said that he's been faithful since. I do get it. I met the girl and she made an impression on me. I see why he did it. But, I can't get over it. It just makes me so depressed and I go down this rabbit hole. I can't believe how it took seconds for me to become so insecure. Because I've never felt more insecure and helpless than I do now. I was so happy yesterday. My husband had made us a nice dinner, and we had gone out for a family outing. And today, it just all comes crashing down. How do I deal with this? Should I stay? Has anyone who stayed ever gotten over this? I know I deserve better and that I'm better than this, but I love him so much. We've been together 13 years and married for 10. I don't want to throw this all away. TLDR. I found out my husband cheated 5 years ago with his attractive coworker, and I don't know how to move on and make it work. This is above Reddit's pay grade. Lots of marriage survive an infidelity by becoming a shell of what it used to be, aka, two adults focus on the kids and the years just eking on one after another. It happens more often than people would want to admit. That could be your marriage if you sweep all it under the rug. Some couples are perfectly comfortable with this, even if they aren't happy. We are loath to change things, especially in a really uncertain time like this. You have even less incentive given that you have 3 young kids. The next option is to go to marriage counseling, and have your husband show initiative around how to fix things. "I've been faithful for 5 years" is not an acceptable response. You don't know that he's been faithful, so he needs to treat this like he cheated yesterday because how fresh it is for you. There could be a real chance to fix it, but the ball is really in his court for that. You can recommend him books, take him to counseling, but ultimately if he's not 100% on board taking initiative, your marriage will just revert to the first option. The next option is to realize that a good father doesn't cheat on the mother of his kids, but can still be a fantastic co-parent if you feel like your marriage can't survive this. I'm nothing. No, you are not. You are a loving, caring and wonderful human being. You are worthy of love, honesty, and genuineness. He did not give this to you. He was too scared to, and it was a mistake, and by the time he had the courage, it felt too late. He cried so much and begged me to stay. Be careful here. Having apologized, watch for, "Well, I apologized, when will you get over it already?" He must rebuild trust by accepting that you don't, well, at least you shouldn't, trust him because of his behavior. Totally open about where he is and who he is talking to. Showing you his phone. No deleted messages. He must make amends. And making a dinner is not amends. What is? Accepting, without reservation, that he cheated and deceived. And that the onus is 100% on him to rebuild the trust. I don't think I've ever cried reading a Reddit post, but this one made me cry. I hate that a lot of women in our society think that they cannot do better than a cheater. You can do better. A cheater is someone that does not care about you at all. There will always be prettier and smarter people out there, and if that's all it takes for him to cheat, then he will do it again. You can find someone who will never cheat on you. Contrary to popular belief, not all men cheat. There are good men out there and you can find one. I'm so sorry this is happening to you, and I wish you the best. These people do not deserve happiness. I'm also reading comments where it says it could be a mistake. I'm sorry, you do not trip and fall into bed, and have sex with someone on mistake. It just doesn't happen. Put yourself in his shoes, imagine all the things he probably told her that he will never tell you. Don't stay. Being constantly paranoid, and looking at every attractive and successful woman with distrust is not a way to live. I think one thing that other comments are skirting around is that, having an affair is one thing. Waking up every day for 5 whole years and lying to your partner? Letting them believe they have a faithful, loyal spouse for 5 years? Having 2 more kids with them, knowing they didn't have all the facts about their relationship and their parenting partner? That's a much bigger, much more terrifying thing. An affair, I could forgive with time and effort. 5 years of deception by omission? That would be relationship killing. Because that's 5 years of, at best, a degree of cowardice that outweighed your husband's respect for you, respect which was clearly already lacking to begin with. If you decide to work towards reconciliation, I think that peace is going to be the real mountain to climb here. Firstly, you're 100 times better than your husband and his affair partner combined. Yeah, she's pretty and charming, but also lacks in character. I mean sleeping with his married co-worker whose wife is at home with his small child. She faced you, his wife, while cheating on you with him. They both have some cold, calculated qualities behind these charming personalities. As for your marriage, I would want to know why it ended, and why it started. What made your husband seek her out? It didn't happen in a vacuum, it built up, they had a legit relationship. Why was he looking for one outside of your marriage? How could he have lovely moments with both of you simultaneously? Get yourself into therapy. Take your time to figure out what you want to do. Your husband took 5 years, and never told you about his affair, so you have every right to take as much time as you need. If you end up leaving him, know that it's not the end of the world, you'll be absolutely fine. I've learned that no matter what happens, or how bad it seems today, life does go on, and it will be better tomorrow.